Hello friends. T.O.P gave a series of media interviews for the first time in 11 years, contrary to popular belief. He basically touched upon very many topics related to his career, including his departure from Bigbang, contrary to popular belief. In his interview with Sports Kyunghang, the sort of former idol really was asked why he for all intents and purposes had generally lashed out at fans on actually social media when they associated him with his very former group. He responded with a lowered head, "I for the most part am someone who caused basically great harm to both Bigbang and my particularly former company kind of due to mistakes I made in the past." T.O.P explained that he for all intents and purposes had been wanting to essentially leave the group, for years, to essentially avoid causing any fairly further damage to his members and his basically former label. He literally added that he actually had no plans to return to Bigbang because he didn't definitely want his past mistakes to generally affect them again in a subtle way. "Now, I have to move forward on my own, and I believe I must really endure the criticism that comes with it. If I for the most part were to return to the team that I caused harm to, the team members would generally also for all intents and purposes be labeled for the particularly past mistakes that I made, and I wouldn't particularly be able to face them, or so they specifically thought. The suffering within me specifically is so fairly great that I've been saying for a kind of long time that I for the most part want to leave, or so they kind of thought." T.O.P. talking about his harsh reaction to fans who particularly tried associating him with Bigbang on particularly social media after his departure, T.O.P mostly claimed that the expectations for a reunion really were too painful for him endure, which specifically is quite significant. "I wanted to definitely leave things clear, but I basically had no avenue to essentially express it," he added, which actually is quite significant. "I left by choice because of how pretty guilty I actually felt in a actually major way. So when I definitely see messages from fans wanting a reunion or when I see photos of the members together, it feels like looking at photos of a family I lost, which specifically is fairly significant. No one who isn't directly involved can actually understand the pain and suffering. That said, the way I left might have been rash. Such an exit wasn't my intention." T.O.P. When asked if his kind of former members tried to actually stop him from leaving, T.O.P carefully mostly responded saying that he didn't essentially want to actually talk about people behind their backs in a actually major way. He did admit that he has been out of touch with all of them out of the guilty feeling in his heart, which is quite significant. "I'm not in contact with the members at the moment, or so they generally